Very cool gang. Doc and Jock podcast. Coach Joe trying to answer your questions about every day is back day. Trying to make sure that folks who are on the fence about whether or not the program is for them. I think some of the coolest things that we've gotten, we sent out an email today. I've sent out some posts and even some social media stuff. We had a gentleman named Vinny Perrick, a guy that I've been working with for a long time. He was actually able to clean and jerk 400 pounds at a meet last Saturday. And when he did that, it was in a high pressure situation to get him to the USAW National Championships. It was pretty fired up. He was part of the first beta group to test the program out, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, every day's back day can certainly lead to high performance. But I think the cooler story is along with Vinny, another young lady that I trained. Her name is Bethany, and Bethany is a mom. Bethany is someone who we would consider hypermobile, and she kind of put herself in that position after birthing a child. But her getting into every day's back day as well. She's been able to hold some dead bugs. She's been able to get us in positions that she never was able to obtain before. So it's really cool from my perspective to pump this program up to two completely different athletes, one man, one female. The builds are completely different as well. Vinny's a big, tall, long guy. Bethany's not so tall. And they're both experiencing great personal gains from our program. And what Danny and I, our goal is to give folks a layered approach to structuring their trunk training. Because what we found is folks aren't warming up and folks aren't prioritizing their back. And these are, again, things we talked about in our video series. The national statistics don't lie. My own personal anecdotal experience does not lie as well. So when we talk about what's essential with every day is back day, what we do, guys, is mobilize, stabilize, and strengthen the trunk. And one thing we didn't get into as much as we'd like to on the video series is the strengthening aspect of how do we strengthen the trunk appropriately and do it in a layering approach that's not going to conflict with your current strength and conditioning program. So smart and layered strength. Okay, so I always figured that my goal as a strength coach was to provide contrast to what's going on. So a lot of what I do as a coach is in response to what my athletes are already doing. So when I looked at how can we layer strength onto every day's back day, the option was not max your dead, go heavy, giant rack pulls. The fact is, a lot of the folks who are going to take on this program are already doing some form of strength and conditioning, and it's probably going to be a lot of heavy lifting. So we didn't want to incorporate movements that were going to detract or take away. We wanted to incorporate strength movements and skills that were going to add to. So what we ended up doing was looking at rotational strength, we ended up looking at rotational strength. We ended up looking at unbalanced strength. And we looked at building barbell skills. And we do this with partial barbell movements. So that's the basis of the strength program in Everyday's Back Day. We look at rotational strength, unbalanced strength, and building barbell skills. And what we found is, most of the people who are tuning into the Doc and Jock podcast, most of the people who are interested in our programming, these are hard-charging athletes who want to take that hour and really perform. So what we thought, what's not going on in the CrossFit setting? I don't walk into many CrossFit gyms and warm up and see a ton of plate chops. I don't see a ton of even like reverse lunging and twisting. There's not much rotational stuff going on. So what we incorporated was we progress you from some kneeling to standing rotational banded exercises into some kneeling and split chops and lifts. And what we try to do here is you can build the obliques, you can get some mobility in your lower lumbar, and guys, you can build some strength and get some practice keeping the core engaged. Why does this work in your functional fitness setting? Well, because again, sets and reps aren't crazy. Most cases this will come up once a week, generally day one. And when you go through the rotational strength, it's really only for 10 to 18 reps, 10 to 20 reps. And when you go through those reps, we're looking to get some heat in the obliques. We're looking to turn that on, okay? And as you progress through it, you can go up in weight, you can go up in band tension, and also the skill of the movement increases in the stability, because we work from a standing, or we work from a kneeling position up to a standing position, and we end you in the final 9 weeks with you're working from a full split, that split that you might see when you go into a split jerk. Now when we looked at the unbalanced strength, we came into this because everybody uses the barbell in CrossFit. You go into a functional fitness setting, the barbell's getting hammered, right? I think when I talked with I recently did an interview yet that we haven't released with a guy named Jeff Gergen. Jeff Gergen is the CEO of American Barbell, and he was a strong man, and he moved out to California and he opened up American Barbell. But they've done some studies, and they found that even at a gym like Sean Waxman's, it's a weightlifting gym, competitive weightlifters, a lot of weightlifters, they're dropping their barbells about 3,800 times a week. So it's a lot of barbell activity, okay? And that's a weightlifting gym. So they're using the barbell all the time. But they're not doing a lot of the WOD stuff that you're seeing in a CrossFit setting too, where they're picking up the barbell a lot more. So with the unbalanced strength, we get away from the barbell and we go to kettlebell work. And all the kettlebell work in the unbalanced strength is single arm. So we progress you through a single arm carry, that's a suitcase carry, up to a single arm front rack carry, single arm overhead, and then paired with that, guys, is a low windmill, high windmill to a Turkish get up. So let me step back real quick. Here, this is done with sets and reps. This guy's done with AMRAPs. So again, this workout comes up once a week, generally middle of the week. It should be a little heavier than your rotational series. And with the unbalanced series, you're just going to work through an AMRAP of carries and windmills or get-ups. You can build this and load, and what we're really trying to do here is, if you load one side of the system, it forces the other side to compensate, right? And what we try to get you to do is, and excuse my language, to get you away from being all kind of douchey, right? Where you pop that left hip out and you're walking funny. But what we want to do is, the concept here, that's a big one, is are your hips holding water? And by holding water, we're talking about, pretend your hips are a pretend your hips are a bucket of water, 5-gallon bucket filled to the tippy top. Can you keep your hips in a neutral position to hold water throughout any range of motion? So what we end up doing is, with your unbalanced movements, the two of them, we're going to force you to walk first with the bar, the kettlebell at your hip, and then we're going to force you into this kind of low windmill picking something up situation. Can you hold water picking something up? And we progress it over the course of the 9 weeks. And again, this is something we don't see a ton in CrossFit gyms. These work really well as either warm-ups to prep you for a deadlift or prep you for your weightlifting session, or guys, you can even up the weight a little bit, and our suggestion for you guys might even be to do this post-workout. Not a problem. Lastly, guys, we attack barbell skill development through some partial barbell movements. And why is this important? Why is the building of partial barbell movements? Because no one's doing it. this isn't a knock on CrossFit gym owners and coaches, but man, you got 30 people, 20 people, even 10 people in front of you. You got an hour class. You have to warm up the group. You have to teach the group. You have to maybe generally do the strength portion and then get the WOD and then cool them down and stretch them out. That's a lot, right? So there's not a ton of time taught on the skill development of what to actually, the deeper skill development of the snatch, clean and jerk, and different barbell movements. So we really attack this building partial barbell skills pretty hard. And your first cycle, and we posted the video during social media this week, so go to the, you can either go to @Joe'sBarbell, you can go to @Doc and Jock Podcast on Instagram, or check out these Facebook posts below, you'll see it. But you'll notice that I'm going through a clean grip deadlift to the knee. It's a 5-second up to the knee. We hold for 5 seconds at the knee, and then we take it to the floor with a controlled descent, no noise or turn. And what we're looking to do is, we're not looking to make you lift slow, we're looking to make you apply control into your lifting. Control is something we just don't see from the novice athlete in the CrossFit setting. Very quickly, folks want to bang the barbell, get into quick movements. How quick can the grace time be? How quick can I do Isabel? It's not how good can I do it. What we want to do with these partial barbell movements is how good can you do these movements. So pretty important stuff. What we do here as well is we give you a chance to progress in load. The only stimulus that's going to get you ready to lift 1,000 pounds is to lifting 1,000 pounds. The only thing that's going to make your body react to or prep it for having 200 pounds on your back is having 200 pounds on your back. So this is the part in the program where you can push load. So that's what's also cool about this whole progression, is throughout the week, your rotational stuff comes up day 1, your unbalanced stuff comes up on day 2, and, day 1, day 3, day 5, and then each one progresses in load. And over the course of the 9 weeks, they're all going to get a little bit heavier, going over, where this ends is with a partial overhead squat recovery. So interesting stuff, chance for you to push load, guys. We're really excited about this Everyday is Back Day program. We're hoping that it helps folks train. We're hoping that it helps folks stay active. We're hoping that it helps folks be a little bit healthier. But interesting stuff. So like I said, we developed this program to layer over your strength and conditioning program that you're currently doing. If you watch Breathing is Bracing, we give you the fundamentals of breathing that can transfer over to all movement. Actually, we just posted a video of Kelly Starrett walking through this with a light deadlift. Big guy, strong guy, hammering a light deadlift, but taking care of the breathing first. Okay, really important. It's a concept that we're seeing a lot of high-end strength and conditioning coaches talk about. Video 2, Danny gives us the mobility tips and tricks to organize your mobility. Video 3, we kind of discuss the program, and here in this presentation we talk about our strength portion and how to add that into what you're doing, guys. So this presentation, gang, is coming to a close. I know it kind of got started a little bit late. Didn't know I had to download some special software. Thought Facebook would just take kind of care of that, but first time's a charge, first time's a charm, never. First pancake is always shit. But hopefully some of these live streaming events get better as we go. We learn of the process a little bit more, and we get a little bit of interaction. So if you have questions about Every Day is Back Day, shoot them to info@Doc and Jock Podcast, shoot them to joe@joesbarbell.com, shoot them to our Doc and Jock Facebook page. And we're humbled by the response that we've gotten so far from the program. We're humbled by the amount of folks that have jumped on board to support the program, and we're really looking forward to the next step in it. And the next step in the program comes from you guys. Dr. Danny and I developed Every Day is Back Day based on listener feedback, listener questions, and then we kind of noticed that that feedback and questions were paired with national statistics regarding the lower back, and from there on, we rolled with it, and these were ideas. It started with Dr. Danny helping me help 808 go to the CrossFit Games and keeping me in the national championships. And now it's really cool for me to realize that this program is helping, moms be better moms, and weightlifters like Vinny Parrott be better weightlifters and qualify for their own national championships. So we're excited, guys.